Do you see? Because you want the surname, that's a legal name. That means you want a contract. You just ask me for my name, I'll give you my Christian name. There you go. And even if don't even say your name, if you want to write, have a business card printed out with your name in uppercase and lowercase. Anybody asks you, give them a business card, because then if any judge or anything asks you, how did they get your name? You say, well, just give them a business card. And your name is written in uppercase and lowercase, your full name. So they can't write that down as all capitals and then turn you into an implied company and go after you for contract.
So if it's in capitalized lowercase, it's not a corporation.
No.
You've also captured that in the trademark series, right?
That's it.
Yes, I have. Well,
it's company property. There's nothing to do with what they've stopped you for. So the police, which is a private corporation, they have a company registration number, a DUNS number, has taken your company property, or an agent of that company has, and they've engaged in commerce. That's fraud. Fraud by false representation. Fraud Act 2006, right?
You see?
Yeah.
And a common law fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, conspiracy to steal, yeah? So they're in a deep shit already if they've done that.
One more question, because all of this is actually, fitting into some of the gaps I've got in my brain. But the last one is the trademark. Obviously, we've trademarked just a name without the title at either end. So John Henry Doe in different formats.
Okay.
If somebody writes to you as Mr. John Henry Doe, is that a trademark violation?
No.
Because so that's just a return.
Right. Okay. Yeah. This is a good question, because this is what I get a lot of as well. Is if you're going to trademark a mark, it's a mark you're trademarking. That's the thing. So if whatever characters you have in there has to be exactly the same. So if you didn't trademark MR before the name, like if you didn't have Mr. before the name, then you can't that. So, but you're not, a Mr. is only to put you down as one of the mariners of the United Kingdom Limited. I mean, like, that's just another title anyway. So, but yeah, if they write Mr., they're not affecting your trademark. I mean, like, I had the council write to me, and it was John, my name's John Henry Doe, and they wrote to me John Henry Doe, all capitals with the hyphen in the middle. But that's not my trademark. My trademark doesn't have a hyphen. Do you see? My trademark is John Henry Doe. That's it. And that's all capitals and all lowercase. You see?
So if they write to you in something that isn't on the trademark list, and it's not your...
I return
return it.
Yeah, I return anything that doesn't come to what I own. I send it back because I don't own it.
I see.
You see,
if you be opening anything that's not directed to you either.
You don't open. You don't
open other people's mail. Yes,
this is it.
No.
Yeah.
So if it's not addressed to you or your company, or if it's not addressed to your company, should I say, or your trademark, then, and if it's addressed to your trademark, and you haven't given anybody permission or a license to use that, then exactly what Tegan's saying, you go after them. You see, but if they're writing to your limited company, they should have limited at the end. So this is where we capture both. We capture the limited at the end, and then we capture the trademark, so they can't write either. So they have to change the way I mean, I had one from the council for a speeding ticket or whatever, flashy camera, getting 30 and a 20. But yeah, they wrote my name and they changed the A and the E around in Michael, Michael. They spell Miceheal. They changed the A and the E around just to try and catch me out. And I saw it and I thought, well, that can go back, return to sender. And you don't hear anything back.
Just one more question about trademarks. It's a similar thing. If you, because obviously I've trademarked John Henry Doe, if you get John Doe, how does that work?
But it's not you.
Is that your name?
It's a different
Well, I mean, does that work trademark wise?
No, because it's not the same. It has to match exactly.
It has to be. I see. Yeah.
Identical. It has to be identical.
Yeah.
This is the problem that we're in. We don't pay attention to the language.
Yeah.
And that's what they're using to deceive us with. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to unravel that language deception. Romley Stewart brought us that really good, and Rohan Lorian with the Chicago Manual of Style, and gave us sign language. Brilliant. It made me dig deeper and go and then find the acronym, which was wow. Do you see? So now it's acronyms and sign language and company titles or whatever. So now we've got them on every leg standing. So they can't get away from what we're talking about, because we're just dealing with facts. Do you see? And if you've got your name and your company's house says there's only can be one name with your name, do you see? And if you've got the highest document in UK, which is the trademark, then you can't go wrong, really.
Yeah, someone's just asked about the limited on the end.
You see, so anything that comes to you, just make sure it's written to your limited company. That's all you have to respond to. Anything that doesn't come to you and it hasn't got your limited at the end, then send it back. Nothing to do with you.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Absolutely
Don't trademark with limited at the end. You want the name, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not right to the limited. So just only John Henry Doe or whatever you identify as.
So that's absolutely brilliant, guys. You've filled in quite a few bits of information in my brain. I can let them stew a bit.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you very much. I'll let someone else have a go now.
Thanks, Mark.
No problem.
Good to hear you.
Gianni.
Gianni.
Yeah.
Gianni.
Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Gianni.
Yeah, very quiet. Yeah.
Very quiet. I'm going to I'll pop out the speaker.
That's okay.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. How you all doing, everybody?
Very
Just saying hi.
Good.
All right, I got now I've got 1,000 questions, but I came online tonight with 2 in mind. Yeah. Well, I narrowed it down to 2. Let's put it that way. So, first is to do with the legal name, and the second is to do with it's about what position it put myself. Because obviously I'm in Italy, so but I just heard Tegan, I think you said that like you can use the trademark as your director, which so that's the second question. So should we do the first one first?
So you have a company registered in England, do you?
No, I haven't got it yet, but I'm on the threshold now. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone from anywhere in the world can register a company, right? In England, Ireland, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, wherever you are. Yeah. Anyone can do it, right? And you can use a ghost mail address. You just need to have a physical address in the country, right?
Yeah.
So whether you have an address there or you want to pay for an address, whatever, anyone can do it. You get foreign directors. I notice a lot of these debt collecting agencies, the owners are actually in Germany when I go after them. So, they have their own companies registered in England, they have a few directors living in England, but the owner is actually in Germany. So you can do that, and you can have an office in Italy.
Yeah. That's what, you've answered, that's my third question, actually. But so what I in my research into and ramifications for having a limited company and then being in Italy. Yeah. So what they're saying is that what they can do, what the Italian authorities, I guess the tax authorities will do, is that they will, like, if you live there for more than 6 months or whatever, and you're the director, well, they'll say, okay, well, that's you. Now we need to open a VAT position for you and make you. So they kind of reclassify like
one second. You're jumping the gun here. You're not living anywhere. You're not domiciled. You're not saying you're domiciled there. You have a registered address, business address. Yeah, you're director. You could be saying I'm living in Italy, so you haven't moved from Italy, right? And your company is dormant, so there should be nothing to do with taxes because it's dormant. You're not trading.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But like I say, they can, if they basically, you're not allowed to be the company director of a company in Italy. But I haven't been able to figure out yet what
your signal is very bad. Gianni, you're breaking up.
Is it?
You're breaking up, Gianni. Your signal is very bad.
I'm really sorry about that. I don't think there's anything I can do.
I'm going to try answer your question how I think I understood it, right? There's no harm with you being, you can have a registered director's address in England. You can get it via ghost mail, or you can have yourself the address you are in Italy, right? The company is dormant, is not trading. It won't affect any other things like that, right? If they come after you and say, you have to prove whatever, the company accounts are published online at the end of every year. They're all publicly available. You can go to any company and see their company accounts, right? If you're dormant, you're registering it. You're doing everything dormant. Everything's going through company's houses dormant. So you've got nothing to show. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
So they don't understand what they're talking about, obviously.
Well, so you're saying, can you hear me all right?
Yeah,
no,
you break up a little bit.
So, Tegan, you're saying that you're like 100% sure that because it's dormant in the UK, can't do this thing where they'll reclassify it and say, like it's now an Italian company, and therefore you.
No, they can't do that. It's a totally different jurisdiction. They can't seize your property.
So completely,
it's registered in a totally different entity that they've got no control over. They can't just go seize someone else's company. That's hilarious. No way. I'd laugh in their face.
It's like them going trying to seize a McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I'll do more research on that, because that's what, as far as I'm aware, that's what I've come to understand, is that
there's international laws that protect you on this.
The company, but
they're not going to seize the company. You're not trading, Gianni. I don't know what conversation you're having with them, but they're not going to do that. There's international laws in place. I've lost you.
Yeah, I do. No, I'm not. You can't hear me anymore. Oh,
can you write it? Can you write it in the chat, and I'll try answer it when I see it. Yeah. Just write it in the
Telegram group.
No, in the Zoom chat here. Just write your question in the Zoom chat, and we'll come back to you. Yeah, we'll move on while you're writing it.
Unfortunately, I can't do that. Or maybe
just hit the three dots and click chat. Yeah, and then you can write your own thing there, right? And then I'll come back to you. Okay.
Okay. We try another question. You want to move on?
No, write your question, and then we'll come back to you when I can read them and understand what you're saying. I can't comprehend what you're saying.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Roger Bilko.
Okay, and we'll move on now to someone else. Teresa,
of course.
Thomas.
Carl.
Gina.
Thomas. Yeah.
Gina. Thomas. Yeah, Thomas. I think Gina.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Thomas. How you doing?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been a member of the Patreon group for a little while here.
Excellent.
I'm living in Sweden. I'm Swedish.
Okay.
And I have some questions also relating to this international stuff. Because the requirements for registering a limited company in Sweden is like you have to have £2,000 equivalent of stock capital, and you cannot have a dormant status.
But you don't need to
the
register it in
confirmation.
Sweden. One second, Tom.
No,
you don't need to register
I'm
in
thinking
Sweden.
about that.
Just
Yeah,
register
that
it in
was
England. You get a ghost
Yep.
mail address, it's called, to get a physical company address, and you can also get a director's address with that as well. Costs about £100
Yeah, and the
a year or
directors.
less. But you can also
the
put your
director
address in
address?
Sweden. You can also put that in Sweden, right? So you can either have it in England with a registered ghost mail address because you're using that as your director's address, or you can have your address in Sweden. But the company address has
Okay.
to be in England, right? England,
Yeah.
Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, you know what I mean when I say that, right? So
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't do that. And companies are international, okay? And they can have branches in other countries. So you don't need to register it in Sweden.
But the trademarks I have to do in Sweden, right?
Yeah, that's different, but it's still owned by your company in England or wherever you register.
In
it, right?
UK or England. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
not right. Okay.
Uh,
Does that make a difference? And I don't know how
Yeah,
much it is to
I
register in
understand.
Sweden, because if it's over €1,000, you can get a European-wide trademark for that much. I know on a specific website. I don't know how much they cost in Sweden. I'll have to check it now. But
I think
if
it's
it-
like
if they
£200
try-
equivalent.
okay, well that's not so bad then. Yeah.
Oh no. And then when our mothers register the company, the person, so to speak, the entity is issued a person number, it's called. And I published one document in the chat here if you want to take a look at it. We don't have any birth certificate issued here. It's called a person proof, directly translated. And the person number has the same type of number series as a company number. All the limited companies.
Because a
and all
person
the
is a
other
company.
types
A
of-
person is a
Exactly.
company.
Exactly.
A person is a company.
Yeah.
So that's
what
the
is-
bond number that they'll issue for trading, basically when you're born, I presume, and they
Yeah.
put it into normally like a
Exactly.
30-year bond or something.
They'll make you a
And that's
national
exactly,
insurance and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question for real is, what is the implications here? So if, for example, electric, the utility company come after me in some way, how will I approach that, since my company is not registered here in Sweden?
Yeah, no problem.
Do
So
I
this isn't
just-
legal advice, and don't consider it legal advice, okay? But what
No,
happens
no,
is once you have intellectual property, a trademark registered in Sweden, right? You own
Exactly.
that property outright. It's the same as your phone or your, a lawnmower or motorbike, whatever. That's your
It's an
property.
intellectual
And if someone
property.
if someone takes your property and is using it for commerce, so trading, earning money, right, off of that, they're not allowed to
Yep.
do that. That's theft of property. Now, I'm guessing Sweden has similar laws where you have theft, and I'm guessing
Of
Sweden
course,
has very
of course.
strict trademark laws, right? So I'm just looking
Yep.
at their thing now, their trademark website. It looks basically identical all over the world. So they've all
Yeah.
signed the same types of laws,
That's it.
Yeah.
So they're not allowed to take your trademark and trade it. So you would say, you'd write to them from England. Like I do this with companies all over Europe. I write to them from my English company.
Thomas.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
got trademarks all over Europe. And I basically
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
look, you're using my trademark. Can you please provide me with a contract or company filings, I don't have any
cease
record
and
of you.
desist.
So Thomas.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah,
Thomas, is there Coca-Cola over in your country?
Yep. Of course.
It's a trademark.
I cannot
Really?
send letters to other companies with the Coca-Cola logotype on it.
Well, this is what I'm talking
So
about.
it's the same.
It's the same thing. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
It's international. So it doesn't matter who writes it, what writes it. It's still an own trademark.
So from what I can understand is that when you do it as an Englishman in England,
Mhm.
you register the all caps name as the
Mhm.
name of the company.
Mhm.
And then the other types of the names that companies use to send in your mailbox at your house,
So
you
you
register
get the
them as
series.
trademarks.
You get the series, right? So you get I don't know how you do it in Sweden, because I know, for example, in the Netherlands, when I did a trademark there, they'd only let you do the all uppercase because they said that covers everything in that country.
Right.
However, their laws were done around it. But I don't know how it is in Sweden. But looking at the laws now, I have it in front of me for the unauthorized use or infringement of the trademarks. It's very serious in Sweden. They take it very, very serious.
Yeah.
So you would just say to them,
serious.
It's nothing to do with these other companies writing the letter to you. You'd write to them from your company and say, it's come to my attention that you're using my company property, my trademark, reference your trademark number, you know, and you can even print it off and show them the certificate if you want. Cease and desist, and, you know, provide contracts effective immediately. You know, failure to do so will result in a fee, you know, and then you invoice them if they don't stop. All the letters that they would send to you, you know, you wouldn't open them, but you could see, for example, if they have the envelope, oh, they violated the trademark, and then your limited company, you'd send that letter back, you'd take pictures of it for your own evidence and send it back to them and say you violated the trademark here, you know. So it's not actually going to you, it's a totally different entity that's dealing with it, right?
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how I do it.
The thing, nice to know. I just thinking about for example, the tax authorities here, they use, most of the times, they use John Henry Doe, and sometimes they can use Doe, comma, John Henry. How is it must be the same thing there if the Patent and Registration Office, if they say it's different. They did in the Netherlands.
So when they write it differently, it's a different patent or trademark, right? Yeah. So you'd have to trademark that as well if you wanted to, but it's not you anyway when they write like that, right? They're just trying to trick you, and they're just trying to trick you to engage with them. That's all they're doing. Like Carl said earlier, they mix up the A and the E in his name, thinking, oh, he'll never notice this. They're so sly. They do it with me all the time.
Basically, they want you to pay their debt.
Yeah.
If you want to pay their debt, that's up to you. But you can stand up and say, well, I'm not paying the debt. It's nothing to do with me. Now your limited company is in play. Then that's the only company. That's the only company that name exists. So if they don't have a contract with that name, then, and it's a limited company, if they're not writing to the limited company, then you send it back, return to sender.
Yeah, I understand.
They're going to get really confused when this happens. They're going to be like, what the hell's going on?
This is it.
Yeah. I don't think I heard anybody in Sweden doing this. So if somebody hearing this want to get in touch, then I go under the name Hard Coded in the Telegram group. So please get in touch with me so we can discuss something in Swedish.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. As I said, I'm doing this all over Europe. I'm testing it in multiple countries at the moment, you know. I have trademarks in a few countries where I've done this. And they don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do. They just stop writing. They give up. Because I report them.
Interesting.
Because you're a different entity. And if they go to court or anything like that, you know, you have ways of bringing UK jurisdiction business laws into Sweden, you know.
Yeah, you
and
can
if they wanted to do anything, they'd have to engage with
orders and
in the company registration country, you know. So it's very difficult for them. They're not going to want to do that.
No.
And they're going to lose anyway. If someone says you've taken someone else's trademark, 100% you're going to lose if you don't have a contract. Do not sue this person, you know, or this company. You're going to regret it, you know. That's what their lawyers are going to tell them.
Exactly. And that also applies to like the tax office, that they are of course also a company.
Well, the thing about it,
I'll let Carl talk. Yes,
remember with the tax, basically it's a separate entity. So once you get your limited company, you have a UTR number. So that UTR number will be your tax number. You forget every other tax number. It's nothing to do with you. It was made for the old entity. I mean, like, again, we've had some of the callers on before where you've had like Frank, you've had Caroline, you've had Orville, like they've had £27,000 debts with HMRC and stuff like that. And then as soon as they buy their limited company, all them debts are dropped because it was for the child's name. And they've taken ownership of the child and become the adult and now doing responsibility and liability. That's why the tax rate goes up and you can earn as much as whatever and not pay tax. So it's a completely separate entity. You can't keep tying yourself to the entity and then moving into the other entity and thinking that you're that. It is hard to detach yourself, definitely. And it just goes back to detaching yourself again. That's all it is, really.
Yeah. But for example, the tax authority, how do they know that the English company gets that it's created? Because it's go out in the Gazette in
So what happens is when you register your trademark in Sweden, right? They have to publish it. I'm going to say who the owner is. So if the owner is your English company, it's going to go into the public domain via the Gazette. You're right. So they can't say they didn't know. Ignorance of the
so
law
it's
is not
their
excuse.
obligation to check international.
Yeah, they didn't do their due diligence.
That's it.
Okay.
It's not.
I should not notice them.
It's
up to them.
Perfect. You did. They did. They didn't tell you about the birth certificate. So what are you telling about them this for?
No, exactly.
Do you see?
It's up to them to check it.
Perfect. And that's the same mentality. That's the same mentality they've got towards us. If we don't go and do it ourselves, they're not going to do it for us. So we're just going to go to the grave, whatever.
So I just approach them after they approach me as like a defense mechanism.
Right? No, it's not a defense mechanism. You're writing from your company. Do they have a contract? Because that's all you're asking. Because your company owns the property. You got to separate yourself from the name. It's a property now. Yeah. It's like your phone. And if they're earning money, like these energy companies or debt collectors, they're getting paid, right, through your property. Well, that's not right. It's your property. They can't do that. As Carl said, you couldn't use Coca-Cola, could you? You'd get in so much trouble. You can't pirate the Hollywood movies because you get in so much trouble, you know? Exactly. I can't just say I'm Pepsi or Coca-Cola or whatever, you know? The Agio group, you know, the group that owns Guinness, I can't just say I'm that group and give me all the money instead of them, you know? But that's what they're doing. So it's fraud. It's fraud by false representation. And it's a very serious offense.
Totally.
Exactly. So, for example, when it's a letter in a window envelope from the utility company here, for example, for garbage collection, and it's my property, a name that I own as an intellectual property on the envelope, on the window, then I just return it because they have to collect my garbage anyway. They done it.
You return it via the company. You return it via the company, right? And I'd write it in English so they get even more confused, right? It's up to them to translate it because you're writing in the language you understand, for example, right? So you'd write to them in English saying, you know, it's come to our attention. You're using our trademark for commerce, you know? Do you have any contracts with, or does your company have any contracts with my company? You know, you have to list your companies and their companies. It has to be very clear who you're talking about, the company numbers, everything, right? That you're required for the company filing, you know, and you expect a response within 14 days, not working days, just 14 days. Give them 2 weeks, you know, and then failure to provide a contract will be the party's admission that no contract exists. And then if they do it again, you just say, referencing the notice sent on X date, you fail to respond. It's admission that there's no contract. There's a fee schedule in place now because you also outline the fee schedule. Yeah. And then you invoice them at the end of every month.
Of more, I invoice them every time they send a letter again with that.
Exactly,
name,
it's per use.
That invoice is going to be more.
Of course,
it's going to be more than the original.
And then all of a sudden, they're the debtor, not you. Right?
Yeah, and they still have to collect my garbage.
Well, I don't see why they would.
They take it and they burn it in their incinerator. And make money
I don't know how things work in Sweden. I really can't say I have.
Yeah,
I've never even been to Sweden, unfortunately. Maybe I'll come visit you sometime. But
definitely,
I can't say. I don't know how it operates over there.
But again, I mean, like the thing about it, I mean, like the main thing to do is get your limited company name first because it's the name they're doing. They're doing everything with the name. So once you capture the name, then that's the starting block in a certain sense to capture your name. So they can't use it, or there can only be one name, which is the limited company.
I'm gonna get the process after I take the first step, so to speak, as everybody else.
Oh, that's fine.
And I have another question. We're expecting a baby soon, and of course, they want us to register the name of that baby. Do you have any tips for me? Should I register the name with the state, or should I trademark the name?
Well, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, like, you can trademark the name if you wanted to. You can make the name a limited company. You can just do an announcement of the name. You can title deed the name, enroll it. Do you see? There's so many different options you can do. Again, if you before you even give them the name, don't give them a Christian name. If you're at the church, or if you're getting baptized or whatever, make sure you get the name, the certificate of name given, the light blue one. There's so many different documents there. There's the birth notification form, but I don't know what they are going to be called over in Sweden. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You see, it's just the translation of the documents now.
Okay. I'm not currently a member of the church, but maybe it's a good idea to be a member of the church just for this, so to speak.
You don't have to be a member of the church. Yeah, you can go and get. You don't. As soon as you give over the Christian name, a document will be created. It doesn't matter if you're with the church or not. A Christian name is given not in baptism and in baptism. So it depends on if you want to baptize the child or not. The child will still have a Christian name lawful document made for it.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah, I heard you talking about the certificate of name not given in baptism.
That's the one.
I just cannot really relate because I haven't seen those documents.
Right,
here.
Okay. Yeah. But this is it.
So I don't know.
Again,
do you have any more material?
Not at
the process in England.
Well,
the thing point me to.
I mean, like, again, with the hospital, if you once the baby's born, you'll get a birth notification form, and then once you give over the Christian name, a particulars of birth form will be made. That's form 1 over here, anyway, and that is basically the birth certificate, which they superimpose onto a security instrument, basically. So that document would have as soon as you give them a Christian name, a certificate of name given would have been made to send over to the birth registrar to add it to the surname.
Yeah.
You see,
exactly, because the surname is already there.
This is it. So before you give the Christian name to anybody, make sure whatever documents they're being written on, you get copies of every document what the Christian name's being written on, because you haven't given permission for that. Do you see? Because that name can be owned by your limited company as well.
Exactly.
You see, so the limited company, it would be owned by the limited company. So whoever doesn't have permission to use it, then the limited company can go after them, like the trademark.
So if I register the kid, the baby, with the state and already own a trademark, do I in practice give up that trademark, or do I give the state permission to use that name or something like that?
Not necessarily, because the thing about it depends on how it's written. Do you see?
Yeah.
Because this is where the depot gets involved. This is where the company gets involved. This is where the trademark gets involved. This is where everything gets involved, because it depends on how. Because remember, as we saw earlier on with Hassan's birth certificate briefly, his surname was written in capital letters. So that creates the implied company, but it's not a trademark because the other letters are uppercase and lowercase. Do you see?
Yeah, our names. The implied company's name on the person proof, as it's called.
There you go.
That is our equivalent of the birth certificate.
Yeah.
That is always written in upper lowercase.
Yeah.
Given names, surname, John Henry Doe, uppercase, lowercase.
Yeah.
It's never used any all caps.
Right.
But since it is the surname connected to the given names, it must be a legal name.
This is it. Do you see?
So they never refer to us as the Christian name, of course.
Of course not. They won't, because everything
So,
everything that's being done is done in legal, which is all commerce, and everything on the earth is commerce.
exactly.
So they're never going to work in law. They're always going to work in legal. We've just got to
Exactly.
be aware. We've just got to be aware of that. That's all.
So maybe it's a good idea to just do as everybody else. Register the name so that the entity gets created and the baby can engage in commerce with that name, and then I take ownership of that name after.
Yeah, you
Would
can
it be a good idea?
Yeah, you can do.
Also, not to draw too much attention.
Yeah.
To fly under the radar, so to speak.
This is it. This is it.
Just do as everybody else, and then register the trademark after that, and then take back the name, and they cannot do anything about it.
You don't have to register.
So I know.
If you're a limited company already, and your partner is your partner a limited company as well?
No, I'm not. I haven't registered it yet, but I'm in the process of figuring out how to do it and translating the process in England to Sweden, and like see how I'm going to do it.
Right.
That's where I am now.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean,
that's what I was saying. And anyone can register a company in England, and it can be international.
Yeah.
So that's
I just follow the process.
That's it. Yeah, just follow the process, really.
Exactly. Because it's all maritime law, lex mercatoria, right? Commerce of the seas.
That's it. That's all it is.
So it's all international anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I can trade in any country.
That's it.
It's
you can open up a brand.
Yeah, it's interesting. My wife is Thai, and I'm Swedish, so it's already the baby are going to be of two nationalities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So
congratulations.
We will see how we can apply this technique. Oh, thanks.
Absolutely. As I said, it's not legal advice. I'm not qualified to give legal advice, but that's what I would do.
Of course not. Yep. Thanks for your advice. Over to the next
problem,
guy.
Thomas.
Thank you.
No problem, Thomas.
See you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye. See you later. Carl, you there? I'm here. Sorry. Okay, we'll come back to Carl. Is he going to Carl jumping on? Teresa?
Let's unmute yourself. Unmute
yourself.
Hi. Hello, yes.
Oh,
hi, Carl and Tegan. Thanks for this.
Hello.
Sure.
No problem.
Hello there. I got myself in a bit of a pickle. I know I put something on the chat in Telegram, and I understand what you replied, Tegan. You know, you can't give legal advice, etc. So I was just asking, I'm just going to tell you my situation. When this matter, I was dealing with the police before I found you, before I had my limited company. And I thought I'd sort of got rid of them, but then it all come to light the end of last year that I'd got points on my license and that I didn't know about. So I sort of got rid of that, but now I've got to face court, and obviously I don't want to go into their court, but I now want to deal with it as my limited company. So do you think it's good? I mean, it's not going to, is it going to be strange me right now? I'm going to address, I want to send in my papers and an affidavit and my company certificate and that type of thing. So is it going to be like strange now I'm addressing them, right? You know, I've got control now, this name. Can you understand what I'm asking you?
Yeah, totally. Do you want to say anything, Tegan, or should I? Okay, so
far in the limit. Oh, sorry, Carl. Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead, Tegan.
How far in the limited process have you come? What have you done up to?
I've got my company and I've got my trademarks. I've thought of some debt collection agencies, but I've never had to use it with the, you know, the police and the courts, and they just don't take any notice of you, Tegan. You know, when I was writing to the police, I was asking them, because as I said, I didn't know about the process at the time, but I was asking them, where's my contract? You know, where's our contract? Because you are a private company. I put up their Dun and Bradstreet number, you know, I put the police Dun and Bradstreet number, and I said, you know, you're a private company, so where's my contract? But they don't take any notice of you. And as I said, it all sort of went behind my back.
So yeah, this isn't legal advice. Don't consider it legal advice. So,
No, not at all.
Are they going after you a criminal or civil procedure?
Criminal.
You don't have to say what it is. Criminal. See, that's a different ball game. That's a lot more difficult now.
Right. Yeah, but
normally the police are engaging in commerce and stuff with fines and stuff like that. But when it's criminal, it's a different jurisdiction that they come under, I believe.
Right. I mean, I've done loads of research. You know, I'm trying to read all the Magistrates Acts and this and that. But you know, again, it's sort of like I'm trying to detach myself from that, and then you've got to go back into that because I know it's sort of like all legal.
Was there a victim of the crime?
No, there was no victim. It was.
Did they identify the victim of the crime?
No. I asked the police all that to them. You know, I said all that to them. Where's the victim? And where's your witnesses? They don't take any notice.
Yeah, but are you sending them a notice, or how are you writing to them?
Well, now it's sort of I can start addressing it again because I've got a court date now.
Okay, so you've got a court date, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so is the court near you?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, this is what I told Jessica to do with Martin. It's Truth Talk 119. What you want to do?
Yeah, I have heard that.
Have you seen it? Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, I have listened.
So I would suggest to do the same thing. Go down to the court and take your limited company title deed and ask them to put that in the miscellaneous file because you can't remember the case number. And when you get back to the office, you'll get the secretary to give you the case number over the phone. So get a receipt. Right. So when you get the receipt, you've got a receipt now that it's in the building. So you now hold the UCC1 because you're the first in line with that receipt. So when you get back home, you call up the court and say, one of my staff members came in and gave you a document to go in a case file, but she couldn't remember the case number, blah, blah, blah. Can I give you the case number, blah, blah, and then get them to put it into the file over the phone.
Right.
Then you don't need to go to court because you're already in the court. The file's there. So that's who they're looking for. They're looking for the name. They're not looking for you. They're looking for the name. So it depends on what name you're giving to them. If you give them the limited company name, they know there's no contract.
Right.
Because they're not expecting a limited company to be in the file. They're expecting.
Do you think that? Sorry, carry on.
Go on.
Do you think that they will look at that before the case? Because I did speak to the court last week, and I said to them.
Well, the thing about it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they look at it or not before the case, because the case will still go on.
Right.
The only difference is that you will be there. You would have been there while the case went on because you was in the file. Your name was in the file. And it was limited. It was a private limited company that was in the file. So you was actually in the court. This is exactly the same thing what happened to Martin. Do you see?
So do you think then that they'd have the hearing because I'm there?
Yeah, they'll have the hearing, but they can't come for you. They'll have to dismiss the hearing, disclose the hearing, or they're going to have to try and get you into the court to kind of like get you in there under a false pretense of another name, like they did with Martin. Martin didn't turn up to the court.
Yeah.
But the following week, a police officer came to his house, took him to the station, and they kept him overnight. But they kept him because he didn't pay a petrol receipt. It was nothing to do with the case that he didn't turn up to.
Yeah,
he said, well, what's this about? Was this about Thursday? And the judge said, no, it's nothing to do about Thursday. You were here on Thursday. And his document was in the folder. So he was there. It was the name they was looking for. They wasn't looking for a body, but they needed to get a body into the building to say that he was in there and try and get him to own up to the name, Whereas when they was asking to, he was just saying, I'm the owner, I'm the owner, I'm the owner. And that was the second time around they got him in there. You see?
Yeah.
So as long as you don't bow down to the name that they've made for you, that's the trick.